Welcome, Brianne Davis, to the show, and our good friend, Dr. Drew.
Hi.
Hey, Brianne, I want to get right into it. And a lot of people, will look at the tape or read your story and say, come on, how are you addicted to, love or, sex addiction? No, that's someone who just wants to have a lot of sex.
Well, I always knew from a young age, especially growing up in the South, that I was different, that I didn't have normal relationships like my friends. I never wanted to get married. I never wanted children. And I just felt like something was missing inside, that I was missing that gene to want to completely commit to another person. But it wasn't just about sex. And it was more about that high from falling in love, having power and control over another person, because inside I felt like this hole that nothing was ever enough. Whenever I would get something, I would always want more. It's that disease of more is what we call it. More love, more attention, more flirting, more intrigue, just more. I just need more to fill me.
Well, Brianne, you're right on. We've all felt that the power of love when we fall in love. But, coming where you did from the South, I would think that once you moved to Hollywood for your career as an actress, that maybe that wasn't the best place for you. Did that fast lifestyle amplify, those tendencies that you realized you had as far as love, sex, and addiction?
I would agree with you completely. My therapist actually said I picked the worst career for my addiction. But being in Hollywood, for me, I was never one of those actresses that was in the party scene or the Hollywood scene. My disease manifested very differently from other people. I was almost like, I like to say it, a closeted sex and love addict. I was very proper on the outside, but like inside I was that snake that was coming around to get you when you least expect it. But for me, like I said, it wasn't about, being with the richest man or getting a job through producers or sleeping around. I wasn't a one night stand sex and love addict. For me, it was about power control over somebody else.
When you talk about sex addiction, what do you mean by sex addiction? How did that play out? And then I want you to differentiate that with the love addiction and how that played out.
And majority of sex addicts, they use porn, they use masturbations, one night stands. They are constantly having sex and it's never enough, and they have multiple partners. And the side of love addiction, it's your high is romance, fantasy, intrigue, flirting. And I had a combination of both. Like, for example, for me, I would always have one main relationship, a boyfriend at home in LA that I could count on, but I could always have one foot in the door and kind of one foot out, like flirting when I went to get coffee or somebody DMing me and I'll flirt a little back. And then I would find myself after a year or a year and a half in the relationship, that butterflies, that intensity, that excitement, in every relationship would go away. And I would find myself on location, flirting with my co-star or having a showmance, which is very common in Hollywood. A showmance is when you go on set, on location for a month, 2, 3, and you pick somebody to be romantically involved with. And then when the movie or the TV show's over, the relationship is over. And it was behind my boyfriend's back. So I was definitely a cheater and a liar and a thief. I literally did everything I could to get my needs met.